So we're going to do a 2-hour stream looking at the Monthly Gamedev Challenge. I'm still planning to do one more UI Monthly Gamedev Challenge, as with the game jam last weekend, I ended up not being able to do a UI section as we thought we might be able to do. So yeah, as a result, I'll try and sneak another one in sometime. And then we need to decide what we're doing next month. But next Sunday is the wonderful game jam, which is Legendary as well. So that's going to impact things. But we'll make sure we keep it up. But today we're going to be looking at UI stuff. So if you remember, what have we done so far then? So we have this little user interface. We have a thing that let us change resolution. Oh, it actually breaks when we go to... I never used to do that. Gets a certain point where the widgets break. Look at that. The picture's upside down there. I don't know how that's changed. It used to work fine. Yeah, so that they say this stay the same size. That'd be good. Yeah, indeed. But for now, anyway, we did that. Let's just get this to a healthier size again, shall we? Return. And then we did a playing thing. And in here we had a few things. We had our health bars and that were associated. We had some ammo. Sorry if that's super loud. It's not too bad. That is go down. And then we made these interactable widgets. So you can use you can basically attach a component that points forward a certain amount of, well, I guess distance. And if it intersects with a UI widget placed in the world, it'll allow, you can tell it to, when I left click, I want it to count as a whatever input you want for your UI. So we had this, where if I shoot, it does nothing, that's left click. But if I right click on it, it goes up. It basically presses the button. So yeah, that was one of the start of trying to look at looking at putting UI in the world. And today we're going to focus on trying to create a card for like a playing card. I'd like to have done a bit more, if I'm honest with you, Merlin. I want to do the stuff with the animation. I wanted to look at, I've done it before and I think they're super useful about like creating widgets and using your own widgets within another widget. So, if you had like our title screen here, if I ever change one of these buttons, I have to go through and change all of them. But what you can do is you can make this widget a type of your own widget, a button widget, and then you can use your own button widget, and then you just change that one button widget and it'll update all your buttons to use the same styling and imaging and stuff like that. So that's like really good, really useful, and it's more than just for buttons. You can use it for many things as well. So you kind of, and that's typically how a big UI is made up, of lots of different widgets all stacked into the one main one. I have 100% more knowledge. No, but they are good. So Merlin, what I'd say is this month's challenge, I wish I did a bit more. And we will. But overall, I love them. Like I'm learning so much. As much as I start to feel like I'm forgetting how to rig a character and all that jazz again. Well, we'll try and I'll have to try and revisit stuff as well. Maybe it'd be good at the 6-month point. So we're on month 5 now. We'll do next month. And then maybe we can do a bit where we revisit it to refresh our knowledge. That could be a good idea. But anyway, we want to make a card. So let's try and think how we want to do this first off. So let's open a little cheeky bit of notepad, shall we? Hi, Octane Entertainment here. So we want the cards to be like a 3D thing in the world. Because I've made a card game before in Unity and it ended up being completely on the UI, and it really, you have to completely fake things like stacking cards, anything to do with like the movement. You lose the ability to actually, yeah, you lose the good things you get from it being in 3D. And also we'll be able to like tilt cards and stuff in 3 dimensions. And also you'll be able to have the cards react in the real world. So if you've got lighting and everything in the real world, it's there, and the cards will react to that. So I think it's definitely the right way to go. You can use UI elements on 3D objects in the world, though, and that's what we're going to be looking to do. Yeah, slider stuff, I've done that before. I don't have the project, because I reformatted my computer, I don't have the project, but I made quite a nice little UI project before, which had sliders, and I had like a customizable a widget slider that I made as well that you could add in, and like you can bind all the functions to it already. So every time you add one, you just need to do one little bit of code instead of doing the same laborious hooking up stuff. So it was cool. Yeah, cool. Glad to hear, Brain. Okay, so let's think how we want to create a card to begin with. Should I just make a new level? Because this is the title screen, right? Let's just make a new level. It'd be easier. File, new level. Go here. And this is going to be our game maps. I assume that's where... No, it's level. Hang on. Why is there a maps folder? I don't think that exists at the moment, does it? There's no maps folder. I hate the fact they call them levels and maps. So we're just going to call this card level. Okay. So we got our card level. And for now, we're going to set this to be our default. So when we launch as well. Maps and modes. We want to start on our card level. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't matter about the game default map. Why is that stuck? Go away. Thank you. Okay, save and close. Yes, I have levels instead. Maps, sometimes levels, and modes. Yes, I mean, because you have the whole window levels. Oh, okay, let's look at levels. Good times. So first off, we're going to have to make an actor, right? And the actor is going to be a card shape. So Brain, we were talking the other day about card dimensions. Do you by any chance still have the card dimensions? And we'll go ahead and make a new blueprint based on that. Let's go in here and we want to make a new blueprint actor. And this is going to be called our BP card. Okay, so our card then, let's think what this needs. Generally, we want this to be a 3D, it's not a plane, we want it to be like a card. So it's a very thin rectangle, right? So let's just try and get that started to begin with. Let's add ourselves a static mesh. And Brain, feel free to jump in if you think that I'm approaching things incorrectly. We'd probably go for a cube. Realistically, we would go for... We'd probably make the model ourselves. I want to jump in. That's fine. You can jump on voice if you want to, good sir. If you need the screen, then give me a call, but otherwise I'll jump in my Sub-Heroes chat, mate. So my thinking here...
I guess I need screen.
Okay, well, give me a call then, good sir. Hello?
Hi.
It doesn't even do that noise for me because I'm streaming and it doesn't make noises. That's why it takes me a while to answer sometimes, because I just don't know. I'm like, when's he going to call? It's like, oh, it's ringing. It's just not making a noise. Discord streamer mode.
Share your screen.
Do you want me to share mine, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Let me do that now. Applications, screens, you need this one. 15 frames, yeah. Hey, can you see me?
I can see you.
Fantastic. Okay. So I was just going to get a cube for now, but realistically we'd want to model something of the right size, right? Instead of stretching crap out. I mean, we can do that, I guess, in Blender. It wouldn't be... Oh, I may not have Blender.
I opened Blender, actually. Maybe I can quickly...
Oh, yeah, if you would, mate. I don't have Blender installed. I need to put that on my to-do list to install Blender. After reformatting, I didn't get it back installed, which is silly. But okay, while Brain is doing that, let's carry on talking about roughly what we do. So I'd imagine that we want to make it really thin in one direction. Like so. And then on the X, we're going to come in. I guess the ratio Brain has there is about 0.7 to 1. So I think we would go for, we'll go 1 here. Well, actually I can do it like exactly like that. I get a point. Hello, Spacey. Can do that number there. And then we can do this to 0.75. And that gives us our card shape. Beautiful. Okay. Now it's a bit small, but we can. It's not a big problem at this point. And we'll probably get a different mesh in a moment. So the next approach then is the next thing we need to do with this is we can add one of these to the world. You see, there we go. There's our playing card. Fantastic. We're ready. We finished end stream
Already?
Yeah, we're done. Okay, yeah. So what we'd look at doing is chucking in, like we did last time. Do you remember we put those world widgets, kind of the world space widget? So if we try and add a widget component, not a widget interaction, we just need a widget. We're not going to interact with it in that way. We will interact with the cards. The cards will handle the clicks, not the widgets, because you don't need to click on different parts of the card. However, we may end up having a hover effect over cards, for example, if you want to know more about what it does or make it bigger. But generally, I think we'll start with keeping it straightforward. So card front. I guess we could do card back first. And then we'll do one for the card front as well. But the card front is probably going to be made up of multiple widgets. So on the back, broadly speaking, where is this now? So if we move this, what we need to do is to give it an actual widget. So where is it? In this thing, widget class, it needs to know what it is. So we need to go ahead and make those. So I'll start with very simply with the UI user interface. Where are you? Down here? Widget. Let's just call this card back. And we want to make this the right size. So the size that we're working with is what we just put in, 750 by 1050. So we're going to go to, we kind of want to say custom, like that. And then we want to get it to the size that we want. Now, where does it say what the size is? Can we just manually insert the size?
Insert the size.
Well, as in type in the size of this panel. That's what I'm looking at. Up here. There we go. 750 by 1050. So there we go. We got a UI thing in the same size now. We'll probably chuck on a border onto that, which will fill the entire thing. Where is the... Oh, and then we'll reset these so it actually fills it. Were they 30 in there? I have no idea. Okay, now with this we can put a card back. But I don't have like stuff prepared in terms of assets, so it might be a case of us having to have a little look to find stuff. Actually, no, Brainode sent me some card back stuff before. I could use those.
You can.
Where are they? We talk too much, Brainode. Listen to all the scrolling.
Yeah, man. I experienced the same thing. I didn't save the card actually. So.
Oh, right. We could make a different Discord if you want and have channels for stuff. Might be to keep track of stuff. Okay, here we go. I found them. Well, I mean, this is what it looks like. We were joking about having a foldable technology. So we need to take one of these and use it. So I don't know the best way to do it. I could just super tightly just clip it like this. Since there's so many of them on the page here, if we just steal it. Make sure you have the rights for things you use in your games. Yada, yada, yada. We'll go for that. Okay, so we now have this. Let me save this. Ah, oh, Spacey, look, it's your beautiful bonus. Did you ask HonestDan if you could use his cards? Private channels as well. Well, yeah, it's just Me and Brain talk quite a bit about projecty stuff, quite a lot. And he shares videos of like what he's done or shares code and stuff, and then it just gets lost in private messages. So I don't know if it really belongs in my server. I mean, we could, but it feels weird to make a private section just for me and him. My Discord already has enough bloody channels, doesn't it? Okay, so if we got our monthly game dev challenges in here, user interface, let's just call this card back PNG. Excellent. And then while we're down there, we will grab a card front as well. So Brainode made a couple of things, so let's use this one. I opened in the wrong panel, the wrong thing for me. Let's go in there. It should be the same size. We'll do the same sort of thing. There might be marginally different sizes, but it shouldn't really matter for what we're doing today. Now, what would probably be ideal is to have parts of it transparent. So if you were doing a card game legit, you'd probably make different layers of your cards, with certain bits of it with like full transparency, so that you can see the layer below and things like that. But yeah, we're not trying to make a, well, not yet, but. And then finally, let's just get a card, a normal card, then shall we go for the nice blue? Shall we go for the beautiful pink? Let's go for the beautiful pink. Beautiful pink. Okay, so we want to grab this one too. Actually, I don't think I saved the last one. Let me go ahead and do that before we lose it. Save. Call this card front one. And then we'll do this one in the same vein. Okay, beautiful cards. Can we put gold foil on the cards? Well, yes, actually, Spacey, we are looking. Me and Brain have been looking into the idea of using materials on the cards to let different bits be like emit light and stuff like that if we wanted to. So imagine you, just as your character uses a spell, it like strobes a beautiful shiny light. Ah, magical. So let's save this as card front. How you doing, Andre? Good, because I wasn't going to take no. Have you drawn any cats recently? I'm imagining you've been super busy with work, Spacey, but never know. You might be cat doodling. Okay, so now we've got those card images. I can import these quickly. So let's go. Have I got textures in here already? I have. Let me just go ahead and select those images in my quick select. How handy. Drag those in. Beautiful. Okay, so each one of these we're going to bulk edit. So you can do asset actions and you can do property matrix this, and this allows you to change a bunch of them at the same time. And what we want to change with all of these is the compression setting. I'm pretty sure it is compression. And then we go to the one called user interface. That's what I think. I'm still not great with the import settings. If we do that, that should save those rest of those images for us as well. Save. Okay, so what we could do now, keep in mind we will be changing our card soon, but for now, we want to look at adding an image into this border, right? So you can actually set the image. The way the border works is it allows you to have like an image and then that can house one child widget. I think that's the definition. Let's go and have a look actually. The border is a container widget that contains one child widget, providing an opportunity to surround it with a background image and adjustable padding. There we go. Oh, that sounds like what we want, doesn't it? Yeah, well, me and Brain have been talking about a card game. Yeah, we're looking to probably develop it. And if we can do it for Ludum Dare, it'll be a great opportunity for us to just whack like 40 hours dev time on it and see what happens. You did some Art Deco. Do you want to share that then, Spacey? For the image then. let's go ahead and use what we just brought in. Card back. This is the card back widget. Yeah. Would you look at that? It looks glorious.
Yes.
Okay. So let's save that. Now we want to put that card back widget. I didn't call it widget blueprint, so slightly bad practice by me. Now would you look at the size of that? Isn't that odd? And you're wondering, why is that? Why has it done that? Well, now I know exactly why it's done that. We have made it a child of the static mesh, which has this absolutely absurd scaling that you wouldn't want to apply to your UI. So we're going to make sure that our widgets are not scaled with this. Now, as a result, we then need to return it. Oh, gosh, it's huge. Look at the size of it. Now, does it feel like it's a little too wide? I'm trying to work out. Does that look like a square? It does, doesn't it? So, it's because of this. So the draw size, right? So if we wanted to keep the ratio of it, we would have to put in the same that, but that's going to be huge now, I feel. Oh, that didn't change it either. Oh, did I click on the front? I did. I was clicking on the wrong widget there, so apologies. 750. There we go. Now it's changing. And then 1050. Oh, thank you, Spacey, for sharing. What?
Wow.
What? Spacey. That is absolutely epic.
It is.
Which is why you wanted shining gold. That is wonderful. Good job. I mean, you've made these look a little less interesting now. No, this one still looks epic. I don't care. It's my elephant. It's my elephant smashing into the ground. Ah, I have arrived. Okay. So there we go. We've got a foldable card. Now, this widget is facing the wrong way, right? Well, it depends on the perspective here, actually. Our actor, this is Brian, how do you normally have it? Do you have green facing towards you or red when we're looking at the axes?
I switch between Unity and Unreal a lot, so I'm even more confused than you are.
Yeah, I think green, based on the direction of them, it wouldn't make sense to have red pointing towards me because then the green's going left, and an axis doesn't go left normally, isn't it? It's either towards you or right. So I guess this is the right way to do it. We're just going to just rotate my hotkeys for rotating have broken in this version of Unreal, which makes me a little sad. Okay, so we have our... Oh, that's facing the front now. We need it completely the other side. You can make the elephant in gold foil. I'm not 100% how the gold foil... Wouldn't we have to take different images to make it that? We'd have to have like a layer saying which bits are the shiny bits and which bits aren't, right? In order to make a material for it. But even then though, wouldn't we no.
Well, it's easy to do with an emission texture.
Trust Brainoid. He said we can. There you go.
Oh, Spacer knows that. That's why she's talking about it.
Okay, so the card back then. We're actually going to get rid of the card front and do just a duplicate here. This will be a card front, and then we can just flip that. So let's do a 90-degree on that. And we're going to change the widget. We're going to make a new widget, which is going to be similar to that. So this has the right size for us. So let's just duplicate that. Control W, weird combination, because that closes a window in Windows normally. Card front, duplicate. And then for this, we need to change our image. But we're also going to have other widgets with the card front, is not. But so I just chuck that for now, for example. So what you might end up doing is actually make these individual elements and then place them rather than have the card as one thing, because that allows you to make like this grow. So let's say that this is a defense stat, and when that goes up or down, you might want it to pulse on the card or something like that. Then having it all as one layer on your card will kind of limit you from doing cool things like that. Okay, so let's change this front one to look at that widget we just made then, that front. There we go. So I'm in a position now where I've got it that size, but I don't know whether or not I should be trying to scale up static mesh to go with it to be the same size at this point, or whether I should shrink down the widgets. How do they look in our world? They look a bit huge at the moment, don't they? Yeah, there's our card. There you go, though. It's existing in 3D space. Jiggle. So that flashing it does is because it's UI redrawing, I believe. And it might be Z index will calculate it as well. I'm not 100%. I wonder how that'll look in. I think they might be on the exact same position as well. So if we move one forward a little bit, so let's reset this. Go back here. Move this up. Gigantic card. Okay. And then we'll press. Hang on. If we press N, does it? Yeah, it'll be based on the mesh. That's fine. Okay. So what I was gonna wonder is if we just can we chuck a quick rotator on this card, just so I can see how it looks in the world. So if I go rotator, and we want this to go on the Z index. Yeah. Start the thing saying starts auto activate. Yeah, that's on. If we press play, I don't know if we'll fly or fall. I can't remember what our. Yeah, you can see it's not flashing or anything in real time. It's just in the editor. There we go. It's the start. Now we can see that mesh through either side of it, so we'd need to position it a bit off of it. So let's go into our widget. The card back then. So our location here, we are working on the x-axis, right? I'm so confused a sec, hold on. This is the front according to that. Right, okay, yeah. So we want to push it back in that direction. That would be the red. So on the X, we want to just go back, let's just say 1. And then we'll do card front. Going to go forward 1 as well. Because they're rotated, that should take them slightly apart, I believe. It's going to be very hard for us to see from here. You might be able to see if we went on a side view, perhaps. Yeah, you can see that these. Oh, no, that's the static mesh. My bad. No, that's not. Try doing that 5. See if it actually moves. Am I looking at it in the wrong direction? I'm not sure. I'd expect when I change this that something happens. So yeah, we're not seeing anything happen at the moment when we do that. Why is that? Let's go back into 3D and see if we can actually see anything happening. So we're on the card back at the moment. Okay, so the X is moving it left and right. That's why we couldn't see anything. So we actually want to go on the Y. Okay, there we go. That's where the mistake was. card front, we can get rid of that as well. So on the Y, we're going to forward a little bit. Oh no, that was the card front. Blast, sorry. Hang on, I think that still did the same job though. Yeah. We'll go forward 1. And on this one, we need to go forward 1 as well. There you go. Sorry for the faff. Thank you, Merlin. Yeah, I think you were right. It was the wrong axis I was dealing with. Okay, so now if we were to see it in the world. Surprised we're still actually seeing... the mesh size. I guess the mesh... Why would we see it at one side and not the back, though? Yeah, we're getting the same here. It is spinning, Merlin. It's a beautiful feat. So for me, we move them. I'm just wondering why. I'd imagine if we scaled this down, it would have scaled equally in both directions, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's flush and it's just pointing out this way. Let's just make the card a little smaller then, I guess. Let's have a look from the front. I'm curious. It's not massively important, but yeah, you can see. That's the card back. That's the card front. Oh, so that blue line is like the equator, effectively, right? Let's have a look where the card is itself. The mesh. How's the mesh? I did the... Oh no, the mesh is central. Sorry, my bad. Don't know why the card front is so hard to see at the moment. Doesn't really make sense. Well, we're having fun anyway, eh? So let's just put this at... I don't want it to be equal on either side of it. I'm just don't know why we're having difficulty with... Okay, sorry. I know exactly the problem. I was silly. That was the problem. One needs to be... Actually, no, these should be local. Yeah, no, I was wrong. One needs to be in the minus direction. That was where I went wrong. Apologies. Okay. That front can just be +1. There we go. And now that should leave us... Here's the mesh. You'd probably actually go even closer to it if we wanted to. Because otherwise it's going to look weird. Either that or we could make this mesh a little bit larger. Probably go a little bit more. There you go. That looks like it might be bang where we want it. Yeah, that looks it, but I wonder whether it's going to be slightly glitching through it. Let's have a look. Let's go back into our perspective. Yeah, it's just on that fringe, so we'd need it just a tiny bit smaller. So let's go into this viewport and just set this to 1.5. Okay. Can't you make the mesh transparent? I think we want it to, we don't want it, we may want it to be like a top and a bottom to it. You know, the card might end up being a bit thicker than this. And you don't want it to be invisible when you look at it from the top. So I think the static mesh we do want. Yeah, you're both very right if I didn't want it at all. But realistically, this would scale to be on the edges of it, and we could make it a certain size. Okay, good questions though, chat. Right, so now that we've got a card, we need to think about how we could use the widgets here. Oh, Brain, it was deaf and unmuted for some reason. So I haven't heard anything you've said. I thought you were just quiet.
Yeah, I actually didn't, but yeah, all of a sudden you got quiet, so I was wondering what's wrong.
Good spot. It's some of the hotkeys on my numpad mute Discord. I must have pressed the.
Because of Among Us shortcuts.
What the deafen is the mute. I always have the mute anyway, but poor Brainhoid indeed, Mel. So how should we do this then? So we want to position things relative. So let's try and think. How do we want this card to look? We want a name at the bottom, probably. I think so, and we want some numbers on these sections here. Okay, so I guess let's start with trying to get a name. So for a name here, we're just going to want to position a text box down here, I'd imagine. So let's drag in a text box. That's going to fill everything at the moment. So I think we're going to surround this probably in one of the vertical lists, and we can make something contain this area. And then we can just have our area down here for the text. So let's just wrap this in a vertical box. And then we kind of want this to, well, the vertical box at least is filling it, right? Yeah. I'm trying to think what would be the best way to kind of push it down to the bottom. The other thing, so fill would be the default.
I sent you a card mesh.
Thank you, Brain.
I'm not sure about its size and rotation. The default rotation. I can fix those.
Like the origin, you mean?
Not the origin, but the default rotation when you place it in the world.
Which way it's facing?
Yeah.
That's okay. We can change it.
Direction.
Okay. So a really crap way to do this would be to add like a spacer in above it. This is why I wanted to do this, because it gives you the problem. We got maybe I should draw what we're trying to do first as well, and then we'll try and make it. That would be a healthy way to do it, I think. If I just put this spacer in here and we say we want this to also, we'd probably want to manually give it a size.
We can have two different panels there, but yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying to discuss a way of getting the text box just down at the bottom, and then we'll evolve as we go forward. Then
I would just add a canvas panel and anchor it on the bottom.
So add another canvas panel inside, is it?
Yeah.
It'd probably be easier than a ratio-based thing, yeah.
Yeah, because they have their own anchors, so they don't push each other. They're just
okay. Yeah. That's a good chat. We'll give that a go in a sec. Let me get this mesh then that you've sent. Thanking you.
Oh, the card looks lovely.
It does, doesn't it? And then let's import that. Let's get Unreal back open. Have I got meshes? No. Okay, default import settings, I'm guessing. Yeah. Import. Here we go. It's lying down. Oh, isn't it lovely though? Yeah, because that's what we kind of want. Do you see Andre and Merlin? That if we have this sort of nice shape, it means that you'll never look down on you'll never like have it looking invisible. It needs to feel real. So yeah, that's good. The only downside is because it's curved, our image we might need to just kind of fit it in it a little bit, but that's okay. It's better to have the right shape and then do the images for that with the transparency.
I also saw a way to mask the images in UMG, so maybe we can also do that.
Mask the images. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so
as in to chop bits out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would be cool. Yeah, I was also trying to think of whether like building up a card back with like 9 slicing stuff as well to do like the border itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also we can just use a transparent background image and that would just work because it's just going to be floating on a mesh, right?
The widget, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that will also work. So we don't need any mask or anything.
Right. Okay. Let's go for the static mesh. We want to change that right to the card you just made. Okay, and then we want to reset the scale of it. Ah, it looks like it's going to be perfect. Well, I need to rotate it a little, but okay, so our image is a little bit bigger, but we can work with that. That's not a problem. So we'll go into our side view or front view, I think it is. We'll work out how wide it is and where these need to be. We want to move. Hold on, I need to check. This is the card back. Yeah. Okay, and let's change this unit down to something smaller. And again,
Birds.
Birds, indeed. Okay, so we're going to have to just float above it a little bit there. That's not a problem. And then we'll do the same over here. It's weird, this left one, we never quite see. I'm just going to guess it's 5 in each direction. This is -5. Okay, fine. Compile, save. Let's go back to our perspective. And then we just need to make it a little bit smaller. So at the moment, can you see? You can looking down causes some issues. So let's work with making this work on the height. So the height. Let's just take this up a little bit until we're close. We're going up 10 at a time at the moment, it is. Let's try 108. Yeah, it's like around 1006. It's a bit of an odd size, but we'll come in now as well. Need to make this bit match. Yeah, I don't know why it's muting both. Sorry, dude.
Weird.
I don't know if I'm actually pressing add. No, I'm not. There must be some key I'm doing. That's shut up, Spacey. Yeah, let's try and get.
I was singing and then realized you're muted.
Oh, that's even worse.
I was singing a Melanie C song.
A Melanie C song as well. What with Bryan Adams or?
It's just the beginning, it's not the end.
Ah, it's actually a good song. Mel C did herself proud.
Mels.
Right, so the size of this then 740, 730, 75. It's really hard to see on this bloody angle.
I sent you another file on Discord.
Oh, is that? I think I know what you're doing that for. Okay, cool. Which one have I changed? This one is what I've changed. Can we make this invisible for now? Or just move it? I want to work with this one. Is it not showing me? Okay. Maybe it only shows you the direction it faces. This would be a better way to make it the right size. I think we're about the right size on top, a tiny bit off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we can
deal with that right now. We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, dude. You know, I get bogged into this stuff quite a bit. And then we want these to be around the same size. So let's bring this down to 700, 680. 690. That'll do.
Perfect.
Perfect enough. And then we need to get the card front back. Let's reset the position of it. And there's X. And then the, was it 690, 1006. Save, tap, tap. And one thing we're going to do is on the rotating component, we're going to make it go a little bit slower. It's fancy. Let's just make it go to 60 instead. Save. Did it. The thing of absolute wonder. Okay. So, Brain, do you want me to try and do that thing you said?
Yeah, let's try it. Actually, we don't have the materials chucked in, right?
Yeah, that's another point. Okay, so let's
When we're doing that, we can do this as well.
So this was the idea of making what the material of this use the stuff that'll react to world light stuff, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
how exactly we're gonna do it for the widgets separately. I mean, but yeah, it's doable.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Let's focus on the actual setting up the widget then to begin with. We'll go back to where we were. And so you were saying it'd be, instead of having a vertical box here, then it might be better just to have a, delete that. If we just do a canvas, I know we could have wrapped it instead of deleting it, but don't worry. Get another canvas within the border. And that lets you just choose, basically just place it anywhere. It's almost like the Unity stuff you're used to seeing.
In border, it's more complicated though. If it's in border, it won't let you to choose an anchor.
Ah, so what, did you just have it as a separate one, is it?
No, under that canvas, or yeah, a separate one. What's that canvas?
That's the base one that when you come in.
Okay. No, you just name it main canvas or main panel. So the other one is the footer or whatever.
Yeah, the footer is better. But it is a child of it, is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So look at right,
yeah.
You can see anchors.
So we're going to put it down at the bottom.
Yeah, just like that. Well, you could Control Shift and click.
Another thing, yeah, so that's what we're noticing because it's still anchoring off the top left of this now, you can see. So what we'd want to do, first off, let's just properly reset this.
Why don't you just Control Shift click?
Yeah, I will do. I just wanted it to look like this first so it was clear.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you Control Shift, so you can see here, hold Shift to update the alignment and then hold Control to update the position. So if we do that, it's now going to do it. It's aligning it to this bottom. This is the anchor, the whole bottom of it instead. If you wanted it just to be the one side, you could do one of these ones instead. But we want it to be split and relative both sides. So we would make this as big as we want to do it. So manually, can you just drag it up? You can. Okay, sweet. And we may, but we may want to do a little bit of padding on the bottom as well. Or we can do padding when we add the things inside of it.
Children could have padding.
Yeah. So you just kind of set it up to exactly where you want your panel to kind of finish. So we'll set that there for now. So would you use canvases for all the different elements then? To arbitrary kind of position them?
Yeah.
I guess we don't need them to flow like normal UI. We're just using UI so we can just combine things and put text in places, yes. Right? So when you're normally doing a UI widget, you would probably not want to just do this because you're not going to get resizing. Your UI will look different on different screens and stuff like that. But I think this should be fine. So what was going to go in the gold thing? Just level. We'll just call it a level panel for now. So the level panel itself then is going to we'll want to anchor it from the bottom left, I would say. And
I was thinking special ability icons there, but yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I can change it. I didn't know what it was. I just chose one. So you have said before, and I forgot. So here you can see that it's setting up based on dragging it around. I'm someone who can get a bit fussy on numbers, so I'd like to have round numbers rather than those random ones. So that's fine with me. It looks clean as well that way. Let's just rename this special ability panel. Okay, and we will probably duplicate this. I duplicated the wrong one, sorry. Duplicate that. We'll move this up to here, and we want to anchor this one, I'd say, to the top left. And we'll make this smaller, and this is the one that'll be easier to duplicate. So with this, we're just going to be putting a number inside this box, so that it doesn't need to encompass the whole red thing in this instance. But the reason I say that is because these overlap. It could get a bit messy if we do that. So we might look at stopping it at the points where it won't overlap. So if we just go to around here. And then, yeah, I'd say probably to around here. It looks fine. And then I'll use this to position, make sure my numbers are not hideous. Okay, fine. We okay with this so far, Bryn? Okay. Oh, have I muted you again? If I've done it, I'm sorry. What am I pressing? I don't understand. Sorry, brain. Let me go into my settings now.
It's okay.
Bothering me. Oh, hang on. Oh. Let me just quickly check my settings. Keybinds. These are my keybinds. Toggle mute is numpad plus, numpad minus. I'm not using those buttons. And it's doing both of them. So weird. Yeah, sorry about that, brain.
It's okay.
Okay, so this is our attack panel.
Strength.
Well, strength of a mage.
Strength of a woman. Strength of a woman.
A wisdom panel.
Shaggy.
Is that a Shaggy song?
Yeah, it's a Shaggy song.
Yeah, me now. Okay, we'll use this one to duplicate this, and this would probably anchor to the top right. We're not really going to be resizing them, so the anchoring is a little less important, I guess. But, oh, blast. And then we'll just duplicate. This one is, did we call it defense or vitality, did we?
Wait.
And then we will go for luck.
I hate when you duplicate them. They go to a random place.
I already hate it because I tried using the one that would be on the right place. But never mind. Did we go luck or was it chance?
Luck. We have a card called chance.
Sorry. It didn't even copy the values over for me then, did it? 3108. What's this one? What? What the flip?
You moved the wisdom.
Oh. Oh, okay, stuff this. Let's just do it quickly. There's me trying to make sure they're all nice and lined up. Well, stuff you. That's what I say.
I'm going to create a YouTube channel called Unreal Sucks and
just clips of all the moments where it makes us sad. Do you know what? It'd be people who use Unreal would love it.
Yeah, probably.
So we've done this, but realistically, right? If we wanted an image of like what the card has on it, then we would want a version of this image, but without that color, right? And then we could place another image underneath the whole thing.
Yeah.
If I send you the file, I don't have. Actually, no, I do have Affinity Designer. I could just remove that background color. So I've got to figure out how to do it.
I can do it real quick. You can send it.
Very no idea. I'll never learn.
you don't have to learn Affinity Designer.
I need to learn it. I'm a learned doctor. I mean, you can.
You should create a YouTube channel called Affinity Designer Sucks.
Not just software. I get upset at all the bloody software, don't I? Right, selection. We probably need to do it as a raster thing. So we go into this. This crap we don't need. Why are they here? Assets. I don't want you. Close. Thank you. Right, smart selection. There's something. I'll make my brush smaller here. Oh. Surely I could have just done it by the color. There's got to be like a. Where's the the threshold? Oh, maybe there isn't. Maybe normally you can define the contrast in the pixels in the color difference, can't you? Right. So if I do that and I press delete, no. Cut.
What are you deleting exactly?
The pixels under here is what I was hoping.
It's locked. The layer is locked.
Okay, I can move it. Ah, what? What? What just happened? Okay, done. While we're there, just
while you are here, you can remove the. Yeah, you're just doing that.
What were you going to suggest I remove?
Yeah, the corners.
Ah, right, we're on the same boot. On the same. I think I deleted them, but I don't know.
In the same sandals.
What? This stupid software. No. Delete it. There you go. I pressed delete before. It doesn't. I have to drag it and move it first before I press delete. Anyway, that'll do. File.
Be careful with your buttons. You will mute me again. or yourself.
The two buttons I have to press are the very far right of the keyboard, the plus and the minus on my numpad. So it's like my hand's never there, other than on the key when I'm pushing numbers in. But anyway,
hands never there.
Is that a song? I don't know the song, but I like. I know that. Oh, maybe I do know it, but you didn't sing it like my brain remembers it.
Okay. Hands never there. Hands never, ever, ever, ever there. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm in the position where I either say, oh yeah, to make you feel good, or we need to go and look for it. I know that one song by Cake, pretty much.
Perhaps.
Which is the
That's basically I Will Survive, though. Yeah.
I liked it. Well, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. Crikey, I loved it. but better. Right, textures. Let's import this new one, shall we? Sorry, it's just on my other screen. I'm dragging in the new asset. There we go. I'm just going to have to set this up very quickly to do the same UI. There you go. Save. And then we can swap that over now. We go into our card.
We might need to set the mip maps to no mip maps as well. Probably,
okay.
Because when the camera zooms out, it switches to a smaller version of the image.
Okay,
we
brilliant.
don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. Mip maps is like loading effectively, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do that for all of these, I guess. Let's select them all. And we will go to the asset actions, bulk, mip maps. Where are they going to live? Not mip loads. No, it's level of detail. No mip maps. It was on that by default. Good.
Oh, nice.
Might be a UI default, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Okay. So if we did it like that, then like we then need to add another border, which is just going to be our background color as well, I guess, right? So let's put this in a.
What's the difference between border and image, though?
Can you have a child in a image?
Yes, I think so.
Let's give it a go, shall we? Good question, Brian. So this is going to be our PG image. Let's just say for now. And then we'll
just like border changes the draw as selection of image to border. There's a option says draw as.
Oh, is there?
In image.
Draw as here. Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe it all, yeah, I see. So maybe it already has that setting on it. Okay. So we don't have an image to use. We just want to fill this out. Reset these. Right, sorry. I'm going to type 0 in. Let's see if it mutes Discord. No. Okay, good. Gotta be careful with this. So it kind of looks the same now, right? Annoyingly, we can probably bring the borders in a little so we don't have we can get rid of the corners. That would be nice. So let's just put in offset on all angles of maybe some 10.
10, yeah. So.
I think 20. Your guess of 15 would probably be better. There we go. Okay. And then so the nice thing about that is we can change the background color of the cards then. So the more you kind of separate out the layers, the less, you don't have to make a new widget every time. You can just change out the assets. That's the kind of nice thing with this. So we would probably...
We might separate the background image maybe.
To like what, a character on top of a background, like a backdrop, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be nice.
We can separate the character instead. Keep the widget in background in the widget.
Oh, what? So you mean not even have the character in the widget? Sorry, I'm trying to understand what you mean, Brian.
So like have the character selected with a magic wand, with like separate from the background.
Yes. So you're saying like we would have another image here, right? Which would be...
Well, not there. If we're gonna have a different material on the character.
Yeah, now I understand what you're saying. So yeah, if anyone else who hasn't been in conversations me and Brain have had recently, so essentially you can apply a material is the right word here, right? Yes. To a widget basically. So if we ever, and what a material does is changes how shiny or how metallic or how rough and how it basically responds to light is what you're dealing with. So if we
can even fluctuate it, the vertices.
Yeah, that's true. You can also apply shader math to texture, so you could make it look all distorted, or you can make it burn away even, like we did in our materials monthly game dev thing. That would be quite interesting if you ever burn a card, but still. So the point here is if you ever, that is going to apply to every single thing in this one widget. So if you ever wanted elements of your cards to respond differently, so say you wanted one part of it like to glow, let's say you wanted this thing to glow and emit light when you use your special, then you'd probably make this a separate widget and just place it on top of it in a master kind of widget. Or actually no, separate as a separate widget component, sorry, and position it correctly, and then you can tell that to have an emissive material and glow where the rest of the card won't. So that's what Brain was on about. Is that correct, yeah, Brain?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm explaining just in case anyone ever watches back and wants to know what we're on about. Okay, so we've set these out. I'm just going to create a... yeah, I think maybe we'll start with just having a character image and then we can branch out and make a different widget for it. So for this...
We don't even need a character image, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the backdrop is enough. We'll place the character image in backdrop.
Oh, it's a flipping... Sorry. What did the size Y go back to?
And you don't have undo and some stuff in the UMG editor.
Add it to your channel, mate.
You Control Z, then it says nothing to undo.
But I just did something. Okay, so let's. The character one would probably just think of the images that you're going to be bringing in. That's the way I kind of think of this now.
When you're doing this, if you hold Alt in Unity, it brings the other side of the.
Oh, at the same time.
Radius, so it symmetrically resizes it.
That's nice, isn't it?
That's like
basics.
The first thing they need to implement, really.
Yeah. Okay, so we would kind of chuck it. Actually, no. Well, this black layer, this black border is going over the top of it, so we don't need to be careful with that. But essentially, what we are going to have here is a little character. We can quickly draw a character just to show it with an empty background, and then we'll have a backdrop as a separate thing. And that means you could even animate him a little bit if you want, or like move him around, or switch out the character for different things. Or even, I don't know if you could play a flip book animation, Brain, on a widget. I don't know if that would work. You know, a flip book being the paper 2D animations. Yeah. Whether or not you could do any animations on that, and how that would look. But okay, so we've got our elements so far. For now, I think I will just try and find a quick background and thing just so it can make a bit more sense what we've done with these boxes. But super quick. So let's look for like a sky background, I guess.
Type fantasy as well. Twilight fantasy.
Oh gosh, this is going to bring us all sorts of stuff now. Team Jacob. Okay. Yeah, we are.
Drawing or cartoon as well. More keywords.
Yeah. This is cool.
Yeah.
So we're just like borrow a chunk of this. Like we're not going to sell this credit to this person. We're just using it as an example for now, okay? So I'm actually just going to... Oh, they got some nice other ones as well. We borrow a chunk. Oh, these are so cool. Okay, so let's just... Can we make it bigger? No, okay, well, we'll just take a chunk of it like this.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Sus.
Sus. Don't you sus me. And yeah, we can stretch that out. That's not a problem. Okay.
Maybe blur it.
Let's just...
You couldn't...
Say that again?
Did it paste it?
I cut it, and then I'm just doing it from clipboard. So you want to apply a little blur. Yeah, there is somewhere in here. It'd be in this again. Like filters or some ship. Hang on. Over here, there's apply effects, if I remember correctly.
I can see an effects tabs over that.
That.
Above that. Yeah, okay.
There we go.
It's not this one, but...
I didn't select it. Okay, you can kind of blur it out a bit there.
Nice. That's enough.
Okay. Okay, so let's export this quickly. Again, we're not going to set it.
Temp BG.
Example, I called it. It's an example for learning purposes because we're learner doctors. We are going to bring in...
Making an example of this stolen piece of art.
Okay. We'll import it with the same stuff as before. Great. And then we need a little character. So we'll just look for a character as well. So Mouse Warrior. Oh, look at this. Exactly the sort of thing I wanted. Look at it. It's great.
Is it a PNG though?
Oh, It's
Sometimes they upload JPEGs with those image
PNG. It
checkers
says,
background.
"Oh, don't let me save it. Download. I don't know. Is this an advert? That's
Yeah,
how do I save it, or am I not allowed to?"
you're not.
Why you do this? It's so cute. Oh, this one. Oh, it looks
Yeah,
this.
it's the same thing. Just go to the previous page and go for the sword building one.
This one.
Yeah.
It's all white though.
Yeah.
Right there, you can do this. You can do it on your settings, can't you? Color transparent.
Nothing's left.
Our options. Okay.
Then you get Legends of Multi-Universe Wiki. that yeah.
I mean, this one's quite cute if it works. There you go. That'll do.
Okay.
Example. So character example. Thank you for the person who made it. We won't sell it or profit from it. Bring that in. Okay, and same as before, go in, change it to UI. You start to see why that bulk edit is useful, so you don't have to do that every time. Okay, so we go into our card front, and now we can set the images for these. So first off, we're going to set our example backdrop.
No.
It's okay, it has been done, it's just because the character's a big white blob at the moment. And then we want to go for our character example. Look at it. It looks terrible.
The harmony of colors, wait.
I feel at the moment that this is the size of it.
So place the character, wrap the character with a size box.
I just want it to fit as well. Hold on. I feel like this isn't fitting in. Like this is this background image. Or is it? And I've just lost my mind.
I'm not sure.
No, I think it is actually. And it doesn't look great. Okay, that's fine. So with the character, you were saying we should wrap this with a...
size or scale? I'm not sure.
Oh, is it the one so they keep the aspect ratio, is it?
Yeah.
What's the original size of it? I guess it is that, right? 216, 350? Or no, that's...
So it's... Does it look normal to you?
I don't think it is.
So what if you scale
No,
the size?
it's meant to be narrower. So is it because it's on fill?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so hold on. So our character can be maybe not on fill. And then, yeah, so how would we control this? I think what we'd need to do is just to make the character fill, and then we'd use the size box to control it.
I guess it's not the size box, it was the scale box, because size and scale, think of it. Yeah, there you go. Well, it was correct that way.
Oh.
You
in a size
scale box with a size box.
Oh, right. So the size box, but I don't even know if we needed the size box. That's what I said.
Yeah, okay.
But then there's...
But then scale box itself acts weird, I guess, right?
I think it's just because it didn't have a size, because this was...
Okay.
Just to try it. Let's try moving it out into this.
I mean... I think it needs the panel to adjust to, and the size box was just doing that.
Right. Okay, well, we'll go that way then. That's fine. So there's our character. Beautiful. Yep. Hello there, Littlewood. And then we'd work on getting the text elements then in the right places. So let's add a text. So Brennan, you started using a few rich text
Yeah,
yesterday, right?
but do we need rich text block here? Really?
Does it give you more options other than putting HTML in, or no?
No.
No. Okay. So text would be fine. So would you say we only use that if we need fancy text? Look at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Tooltip. Okay, so the footer panel. I wonder whether would we just put padding on this? So we'd make it fill. We'd then want to put in some padding in here. Offsets, I guess it would be here. Left top, yeah. So on the top and the bottom, we want it to be, say, 20 in, I guess. Oh, that's the left. We can still go with that. That's fine. So 20 on either side there, and oh no, I'm doing the panel. Sorry, my bad. I meant to do the bloody.
And the text doesn't have a vertical alignment, so again, we need to use this size box maybe.
It doesn't have a vertical alignment. You say, oh, so we can't put it up and down in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So if we do it, wrap it with the scale is the scale we don't care so much about here. So if we try a size box, and the size box allows us to.
I don't understand why you don't Control Shift click, and it just handles everything.
Thank you. Sorry. Oh yeah, I it was not on purpose then, so I didn't think about it. No, it's good. Thank you for bringing it up. So the text itself then.
So then you can vertically align it, I guess, now.
So because we've done that, it allows us to do this. Is that what has just happened with that size box, right? So we'd probably still want it to fill the width, but we'd add some padding on.
Probably it's not size box, by the way, but you need a panel, and it's always good to use a size box because of different resolutions. We don't need it here, probably, but.
I'm trying to think whether we do it. This is the only way to center it, I guess, is doing it this way.
Yes, you do that, and
then we can. Yeah, we can center it. Can you center text the other direction in the settings?
But I'm not sure if it overrides it. It was down below. You saw it.
Okay, it was on my screen. I didn't quite see it. If you see it, let me know.
Now.
Justification. There we go. There we go. Okay. So with this, you set the size we want, and the font. I don't think I've got any other fonts, so we'll just stick to Roboto. Thank you. We'll go for a slightly bigger size, 36 maybe. Cool. What's the character? What's it going to be called? Because also what we want to kind of think of is how we can bind these to. We can give it a data asset, and it'll go and set all of these as well. So you don't have to make a card for every different character. Instead, you just provide it with the image, the background, and all that. Bug catcher. It's a horn and an axe with it. He's got a bee friend.
He kind of has a net-looking thing. No, it's a okay. It's a shell of something.
Yeah, it's like a horn. It's like a. Yeah. He's smoking too.
It's a bard.
Right. I think we should just call him Text Block.
Okay.
Mr. Text Block.
Mouse guard.
Good name, Mouse Guard. We're done. And then, okay, so all of these would do kind of the same thing here. So I just want to make sure I understand it properly now. So if I just put text in there, the text options we have here, we can't really align it, even though it's in a panel. So the canvas panel doesn't give us what we want in this instance. So we'd need to wrap it with something. And it seems that size box seems to work fine for us. If we wrap it that way. Mouse Ranger with Bee Companion. The great resolution. Right, so the size box here, we want to fill its container, right? So if we do that, and then the text, we want you to be...
I wish we did this earlier and copy pasted later.
We still can. I think it'd be quicker to do that. So, just put in a number. Realistically, you're probably not going to go over 100, so let's just put in 99. And then that gives us an idea of the size we want. That's the same size as the character name, so it's fine, man.
Maybe we could have higher white LEDs, but less. Okay.
Okay, we'll do 999 to be safe.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Still works. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, that's fine.
No in betweens, only 36 and 48.
Yeah, I stick to the font sizes it gives me in a bloody text editor. I'm tied to it. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We can maybe just copy this into those. That'll work. Oh, rain.
Yeah.
That like Unreal did fine for once.
Rare times.
Okay, so we've got those. And then the special ability. Would this be an icon? What would you think would represent?
Just an icon.
An icon. And so we'll chuck an image in there, do you think?
When you hover it, you see a tooltip.
Okay. So we will... I just want to see how image responds to this then. Drag that into that. So again, yeah, with an image, we don't need to align it in the same way. So I think we can just do this, and then we'll just give it some offsets so it fits in the circle, I guess. Realistically, the image you use would be the same size and you'd make sure it fits in. But for us, we will just do it a bit quicker. So let's take it in maybe 10 to 20 on each side. Blast.
Use the angry face.
No. I hate that face.
Sicky mode.
I hate it. It's just giving like materials as well. Okay, can you? I guess you could filter by different things in here. We just wanted to find. Is it AI something?
Type face, maybe. I don't know. No. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I've got a little image I can use somewhere on my computer, I'm sure. We'll go into pictures and we will chuck in.
Yeah, use the elephant. Oh, okay. That's bad.
Who do we want, Joe or Pig Horse?
Joe.
Joe. Heart Joe?
Heart Joe.
Heart Joe. Okay, Heart Joe, you're coming into my game. I thought we used him in the particle monthly game dev as well. It started raining Joes. It was a beautiful time to be alive. Okay, save that. Okay, so we'll just replace this image with Joe. Ah, beautiful.
Perfect.
Joe has the power to love and be anxious at all times. Okay.
Oh.
So this would give us a general little setup then. And it seems that my blueprint doesn't want to... Oh, it did eventually. Ah, so we've got some issues.
Yeah.
Why? I wonder. So, like, we don't have to care about the back. But things are pushing themselves around a little bit here, right? So, why is that happening? We need to... Is it because the size of this is 750 and the card is actually smaller? I think it might be.
Yeah.
So I think we ended up changing the card to be... Oh, let's look at them here, right? I'm drawing it as a set. I've got a quick way to test this, sorry. If we go to the card, we'll probably be able to see it in here as well. It's a bit messed up. Do we just choose it again?
Yeah, choose it again, and it works.
Okay, so we can see it's smaller, and the issue here is it's meant to be, or we designed it for this, and that's where it works. Right, so let's see what we can do, because this is very likely, this could happen for sure. So how would you deal with this sort of problem? So if it's all about, we need to make our widget respond to that different size.
So we wrap the main panel.
This thing in a scale thing to keep things.
Yes.
Ooh, that instantly shifted things.
And so main panel should now fill.
Was it? I see. I see.
Looks better.
Still a little off, isn't it? But
at least let's see if it shows the same thing, same offness.
oh yeah, that's a fair point. So we should have the 9s a little close to the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't quite centered. These look fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Save that. And let's let it refresh. Okay. The 9's over the edge, and it looks a little different still, doesn't it? I don't know if it's just me. Yeah, that 9 is very close to the edge, and I don't think we had that here. No. We're still getting the different size that we did, I believe, which was like 690 or something.
Should we also
wrap
it with a size?
See, the more I do this, the less I feel I understand what's going on. So what? Set the wrap the main panel in size.
What did we do for the? We used both in one of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So size is the parent one. It worked. All right for that one. Nothing much changed.
Yeah, I'd imagine we'll move this as well, but I'd imagine it's still the same.
Yeah.
So we basically
is it because of the specific components?
Which specific components?
The panels, lock panel, vitality panel. It's down.
What are they not? Do they not have their settings? Do you mean to anchor properly? Let's click on. Yeah. What's this panel here? What's that dotted line?
What about the? So where's the card image? The image that holds the background.
Yeah. The backdrop is here. I'll start renaming some things. Make it a bit clearer.
So backdrop. Is it backdrop? No, it's not backdrop. Sorry. It's the border.
So the main. Sorry, I know what you're asking now. Yeah, it's this, isn't it?
What?
Oh no, it's not.
No, I mean the image.
Yeah, well, you basically mean the thing with the colors on it, right? Yeah.
We have a border. What's that?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's not getting scaled properly. I was thinking.
Oh, what? And it moves the. I mean, we have no reason to make it a border. We might as well change it to a image, or we replace with image. Good start. All right, so. And then, but we also want to do this in the I feel like we're just, I don't know. I just feel like we're wrapping stuff in stuff, and I don't.
Yeah. I don't want to do that either. But I'm trying to learn as well. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, at the
these
moment,
things.
they're not in the right position anyway, right? But it's just, let's have a look at each one of these then. So we have the luck one, right? Is this anchored? We want this anchored top right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll move it manually. See, it's going to do it by pixels. I think that's why, isn't it?
Yes.
So if we do this, it's just going to do that many pixels from the side. But if we squish it down, that many pixels is going to move it to a different place.
Yeah, I don't understand that really. Unity does that with percentages, the same anchor.
Yeah, percentages would be nicer. IMO. Because this can look great in this size, but as soon as we change it.
Yeah, actually, Unity does it with pixels too, but then you have a canvas scaler, and that affects everything. It aligns everything again.
Right.
Yes, we do. Let's also check the anchor of the actual card.
Okay, I'm just making sure all of these anchors are done. We wanted them to be. So of the card itself, which part of it?
I mean, what was it? Card border, you called it? Image,
Yeah,
the image?
that thing. So no, it doesn't show you what the current. I guess this shows you. Yeah, it's stretched to all corners.
Okay, that's correct
then. The character size isn't, but that's not really much of an issue, I guess. Character's just to the top, but that's not moving anything else around at the moment. The backdrop is just to the top as well, but again, that's not causing issues. So like this one works better now.
Did it update?
Yeah, when I moved it, they moved.
Okay.
The green one isn't, and this one's a bit off. So I think really the key here is, I guess, that we make the UI elements the same size as the card's going to be for sure.
Well, this should work, but yeah.
Well, I don't know if it. It's because we're doing it by pixels, though, isn't it? Like we said.
That is a problem.
So if it's by pixels, that means we need to know these things in
But
advance.
also, paddings are with pixels. So.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point.
And how is it that the text on the blue one is different than the green one?
That's a very fair point.
Maybe that's the thing.
Let's try
we can investigate.
Hold on, let's also just try and put one number in each one. It shouldn't make much of a difference, actually. No, the green number.
Are they justification?
Yeah, the font thing. Let's have a look, shall we?
Actually, we just duplicated them, so it should be. But
should be. That might make an issue, right? A difference. Yes. This is how it was, and then I'll move it and it should update. Oh shit. Still the same.
Never be the same.
Both. No. It's really bizarre. If these are anchored this way, and these are anchored this way, the relationship should be equal between them.
Yes.
So this should be close to this side.
Yes.
Silly. Very silly. Let's. Wanted to put 9 in as well, just so we have one number. Easier to see how central it is.
Or if it will introduce new issues.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why this should be close. Yeah, they should be moving in the same way. Right, obviously your image might be slightly off as well when you made it.
That's fine. It's not the issue. It's like 1 pixel, 2 pixels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there'll be a tiny bit of a difference, but it's not good. It's not going to represent this. That's what I was trying to get at.
What if we use overlays instead of panels? Would it make any difference?
Overlays. What does the overlay do? Overlay is, please give me a tooltip. Allows widgets to be stacked on top of each other. Use a simple flow layout for content on each layer. So are we saying we swap the attack panel canvas for an overlay instead?
What happens? Okay, size box is not filling.
Well, we just had to change it for some reason, but.
So if we check it right now, is it centered? It was already centered, I guess.
Yeah.
Front one.
Shall I just copy this size box and move it around for now? Or do we, instead of changing the wrapping on each one of them individually?
I don't know.
Yeah, I will. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, still anchored to the right place. In the middle of the book. No. Well, we came across an issue anyway, eh?
Okay, what if you change the width here? How does it react?
Change the width of this, you mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't, does it? They stay exactly where they were. Is it because they're anchoring to this? I think the canvas, every time you... no, because we're not just using canvases now. It's almost like they're not responding to their owner, right?
Okay, what if we remove the size boxes of them and...
Go back to... Oh, the size box off of the text, you mean? Sorry.
Yeah. So we have them to vertically align them, but obviously we have some issues here. And we don't have to vertically align. Yeah, we don't need to vertically align them to it.
If we just go through, get rid of the size boxes for now. And then we need to just give them the alignment. What?
What?
These options I'm getting on the... is it because this... Yeah, okay, so that's one difference we're having here. If it's an overlay, you get the options on the text to horizontal and vertical alignment. If it's a canvas, you don't.
Yes, so one has a flow layout and the other doesn't. And the size box had a flow layout as well. Maybe the flow layout is breaking things for us. We'll see. So maybe only having them under a canvas panel is better.
Oh, just having the canvas panel, you mean?
Well, yeah. Or do we need panels? Yes,
well,
I guess.
well, if we didn't have panels, then it would be a case of we'd be positioning them. But yeah, you'd need some flow control for that. You could use like size elements, like spaces and stuff like that, to put it in the right position. And I think that would allow it to respond better.
Okay, I guess that's not the issue here. I know what's wrong. We shouldn't be in need of placing text. We shouldn't try to align text with a object in the background.
We should be, yeah, but then the objects are going to be moving as well, right? In the same way.
Rather have those shapes as different images.
Yeah.
And under attack panel, and then we have a text next to it under it.
But then the layout of your card changes based on the. That's the only other downside, right?
What?
The layout of the card will change when the side, instead of the numbers not being straight, these blocks are going to be in different places, so the card will look different to the design.
Yeah, you can just hide elements of a image.
Sorry, I don't. What do you mean by that?
What did you mean by?
So my point is, like, if this was the design of the card that you want, if we then transfer the positioning to the shapes instead, the shapes are going to move around a bit instead of the numbers.
Yes.
And so the card will just basically look a bit different in terms of ratio.
Yes. That's expected.
Kind of.
If you need a bigger card, but you don't need a bigger icons, maybe.
I'd kind of expect the card to be like the same size no matter what, like ratios, distance, and everything, you know.
Okay. Then you can use a size box, a scale box, or not. This is not a big issue here. We'll fix it in the actual version. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I just feel like I don't know whether this has been a good. This is like the way to do these sort of things.
Okay. Well, I just told you the way I would do it.
Yeah, to make these individual shapes. Like, yeah. Would you position those then just like you have with images, which are not in anything?
Just like we did earlier.
And just I'm gonna think.
Okay, you think then? I was going to say, should we try materials before we wrap up?
Try the what side? The materials? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. It looks a bit jank. I guess we can also. A quick fix to this is just to scale up the actor until it looks right. Perfect. Oh, it's meant to be locked. Come on. Or maybe it's just the aspect ratio of the card was different, I think. Okay, never mind. Okay, so the material side of things. So we were looking at
go to select the widget.
the
front, I guess.
So in the blueprint of the card, or in here. Yeah.
So that has a material you can see on top.
Right here.
So what is it using?
Widget 3D pass through masked one-sided.
Can you edit that or find it in we can also duplicate it and create another material out of it.
I think it's a material instance. We need the parent, don't we? Parent is this. Yeah, so I don't know. Do we want the parent or do we want this?
Yeah, we want the parent.
Okay. Go to that one instead. Oh. Let's go to the parent again.
Yeah, I use this, I guess.
Yeah, so this is the...
Maybe we should duplicate it and use it as a base.
Mm-hmm. We'll take that, we'll put that in a... I know it's not a texture, but just I don't care right now. We're going to paste that in. We'll just call out this out. Okay. So in this one, emissive color was one of the things, right? That it was trying to, it basically, instead of using a base color, it uses emissive color, which makes things like full bright all the time.
So look at material preferences, the details. It should be lit.
Right, hold on. Oh, unlit. So that should change to default lit, you're saying, right?
Yeah, and blend mode, maybe it doesn't need to be translucent.
So we would just go to opaque.
Yeah, maybe we can use it as a transparent image. I'm not sure. We can fade in, fade out.
If we have different images on top of it, would they need to support the transparency as well? So say we had another widget on top of it.
No, it's not.
Doesn't work that way.
It's not relevant. If we just change the Y position of it, and it comes closer to camera, and because of the depth.
Oh yeah, but it'll allow you to have transparent part on your material, is it? Still.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because I thought through having it as opaque, it meant that you didn't have the opacity, so you can't really have an opacity mask on the...
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe. But it's just...
Yeah, we can play with it.
Probably you're right, but we can change it real quick.
Okay. So they're the main things you changed on this detail section, right?
Yeah, I didn't change those.
Okay, and then the next thing we're looking at is instead of using the emissive color, we just want the base color in instead.
Yeah.
And these are plugging into opacity still, even though they weren't there before, which is weird. I think it's just because we've changed the type, so we'll just unplug those for now.
Yeah. If you want, you can just switch back to translucent and keep those, but yeah.
Right, okay. So if we save this was called our widget material, right? So if we then apply that widget material just to the widget itself, right? Not the whole card.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to my widget material. Oh, crikey, there's two, is there?
Yeah, that's yours, I guess. That's editor materials, yeah.
Game textures. Okay, so it looks less nice, but that's not a problem. That's basically is responding to the light here. So let's do the same thing on the back quickly.
Actually, can we create a new material for the back so we can try the emission?
Sure.
Sure. Actually, let's go edit that material and add a texture sample.
Mm-hmm.
And choose the emission. Did you download my...
Yes.
Emission texture, sorry.
Did I pull it into the editor though? No. Give me a sec. Oh, I opened it, but maybe I didn't download it. Oh no, I did. Okay. Oh, I think I downloaded it straight into that. Okay, never mind. I didn't put it in my downloads. That's fine. It's okay. Now we'll drop this into here. Do we need to change any of the import settings for it? Do it need to be...
Okay. Let's keep it as is for
now. That's fine. So we're back in our material. We'd want to set this to be the image itself, I'd imagine, right? We can't... I can't remember where we changed this. Oh, down here. Used to things being up here.
Like how? Angry face is there a icon red.
I saw I typed in AI. Oh well. What did we call this? Elephant emission. Elephant. Okay.
And we can just multiply this with a constant, and later on we can reduce or increase the amount of emission. Yeah, it's 1. And yeah, chuck it in an emission input.
Emissive color, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically saying only do an emissive color wherever it's white here, or a medium range based on the black and whiteness of this, right?
Yeah, so this will apply the same emission texture for even if you change the texture of the image in the widget. But yeah,
yes.
we can set the texture sample as a parameter, and we can change that in runtime as well.
Yeah, or you could just make this back color be the better version of this image, right? And use a texture on the back side of it instead of a widget, since we're not going to be
maybe
using anything in particular. But okay, for now that's okay though.
I guess that's it. Let's go see. I don't know if the images are aligned.
Yeah, they may not be, but we will. Doesn't matter. So we go here. We go to the card back. You could do this in the blueprint as well, though, right?
Front. Yes, you can do this in the blueprint of.
I call it cut. Okay. So, is that emitting a white light, or is that just?
Yeah. So what if we have 3 or 4
as the value?
Yeah.
We'll need to make a material instance of this, I guess.
We can actually multiply it with a color as well.
Have a quick look then. So do you want the color up here as well, right?
Yeah, so maybe I was thinking instead of emission, but multiply. Okay, we can have another emission as well. Yeah, that's all right. It will just boost it up overall. Okay, save.
And then let me go to the material instance of it, and then we have our parameters, right, where we can change the.
I just boost the emission.
200 emission spaces, is that what you want? Try that. It seems to just be rendering it as an image rather than an emissive kind of like glow, right?
Yeah.
Which I didn't quite expect. Oh, hold on.
We didn't change it. It's not, yeah.
Holy shit.
There you go.
That looks amazing.
It looks interesting now, right?
I like that a lot. Mate, if we get like 5 out of 5 on graphics just for that.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, let's set up a scene. Let's get some spotlights on this. We'll get it rotating. We'll fake the. I need to just move the numbers so that in my screenshot it looks good.
They also had a checkbox that's saying emission should actually emit light in the material, I guess.
Oh, right. Okay. Hold on. So back to the actual parent you're on about.
Material emission actually emit light. Sorry about the typewriter.
I enjoy it. It's fine, mate. People are used to it with mine, so it's not a problem, dude. I'll just change it to a gold color while we wait.
Okay.
That's it. Here it is. You can just change it and run in real time, which is kind of what we want to do here. I mean, it looks like... Yeah, so you kind of need it. It kind of overshadow, like, yeah, I guess that happens though, isn't it, if it's emitting light. I might have taken it to 30,000 accidentally.
Yeah, that happens in Unreal.
It's kind of like this, interesting how the rest of the image changes to it though.
Because I also have gray areas in the image.
Ah, right. Right. That's the one. You liked it, did you? Weird. I think it looks fine. We can play with the color a little bit more, but it's a little bit more golden. To be honest, it looks pretty good. The only thing is you lose the clarity if you had text on it.
Yeah.
But even if we just like quickly pulsed it from like 0 to 1 when it was time to 1,000 when it was time for you to like when something was happening with the card, like.
Yeah, well, I over blurred it, so that's why actually.
Ah, right, okay.
Let's go to the actual material, and I don't know where that option was.
Yeah, I'll go and open it now. Sorry, I'm just playing with the emissive. The parent, you mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We should check the details, but...
So we want to find something that is to do with emission.
It's like
Allow negative emissive color.
Lighting. Do you have lighting, or maybe it's under the mesh?
Emissive dynamic area light.
Let's open that.
Materials emissive color is injected into the light propagation volume.
Don't think so, but yeah, let's try. And I think I know where, but I'm not sure if widget has it.
Ooh, started to. I don't know if it's just my eyes or whether it's like glowing, like pulsing more.
Do you have another object in the scene, or you just place a cube and get it closer to the emission?
Oh, to see if it gives off light, I think is what you mean, right?
I don't think it does. We should have seen it by now.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah. Can we also go to? Can you go select the widget? Widget? Because this also looks like a halo drawing over the cube, so I'm not sure. So in the card, you got selected. Scroll down and find the lighting tab. Do you have a lighting tab?
Not that I can find. I'll look for light.
You have rendering. Okay, so guess it only works with meshes.
I guess a good way.
It's also, I guess it also works with only static meshes or.
Ah, yeah, you're right. It is the halo. Because yeah, there's no light on it unless it's on the screen.
It's okay. I don't think we need this, but I was just curious.
Oh yeah, me too.
This is good enough.
Yeah. Have it light up on hover. That could be a good idea as well. Yeah, to some extent at least.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and we should have a border lighting up when you hover, or maybe this card is available. Now your turn to play. All
Yeah.
the slot cards, they get their borders lit. Okay, so
How do we
fine.
get? Yeah, I need to wrap up because it is 2 o'clock.
Do you want to add a light?
Yeah, I'll just do a bit. I was just making sure my friends aren't waiting for me, and they're not at the moment. So
A light source, the directional light. Maybe we can boost the intensity of it. Yeah, in the
in the already one.
yeah, I don't want
Light
to be
source. Where is it as well at the moment? We need to. So it's over there.
It's not important.
Is the light source not the directional one? Oh.
It's directional, so the position of it is not important. But the rotation of it is.
Yeah, that's what I was meant.
I'm sorry. Should we? Yeah, we should see them like this as well. But I'm thinking how. So we will have them facing towards us and towards facing up as well.
Oh, as in how the? Do you mean as in on the floor? Do you mean like as in on? Okay, let's. We can take it like a few of them. Let's make this floor.
Balls should look good, right? With different light.
So let's just make this 20 by 20. Give us a bit of area to work with. We have one here, and then we'd. I guess we'd want to duplicate one out. Could rotate it on the X. Don't give it to you.
Oh.
And then we probably have to rotate on this. And press N to get it on the floor. Why does it do that? These are still going to rotate, but I can try and turn those off. And then we want to flip it on the Y, I guess. Like so. Move this thing over here.
Actually, they look okay.
Yeah, I'd be interested in trying to get like less light and add some little lights in here instead. So
there's your light.
The campfire. Yeah, it's a bit light at the moment. Do we think we might need to, as much as we all liked it, we might need to bring that intensity down just a touch.
Lol.
It looks good even as like small values, to be honest, when the lighting's not here. I think I've got bloom on at the moment, which is really weird. Yeah. Way to turn that off.
Also, you have eye adaptation, I guess, when you look back and turn back again.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's what I mean. Like the HDR sort of thingy-majiggy. Okay, so if I wanted it, let's get some quick spotlights in here, I guess. Oh, is spotlight, is that the? I always get confused because there's a point. Is there a point light as well? Chuck this up here for now. So with that actual light source, can we just turn it off? Sky, what's giving us our light at the moment?
A light source, directional light.
Yeah, it's on 0.
Well,
Just delete
you
it.
add a point light as well?
No, but even before that, spotlight and point light. Let's get rid of those. I think we have. There's some atmospheric fog, which no. Just delete.
Have an ambient light
somewhere. Even the point light out, yeah. So I looked at this stuff before. Which why are things still? Is it the emissive light or something? Like, this shouldn't be lit, should it, if it's dark?
Yeah, maybe it's the emissive light. Because we set it as a area
No, I
light.
tried deleting it, it didn't do anything.
Well, the others has it too.
Oh, on the back, you mean?
Yeah. No.
Like nothing in the scene. This is weird, because normally if you start with an empty scene, you don't see this. It's really weird. Hey, Johnny Ree. Would auto exposure, if we got no lights in the scene?
Yeah, auto exposure seems weird. It changes your lighting a lot.
Oh, it could be baked. I don't know, actually. We can try and do the build thing. I don't really know much about this, but if I just go... Ready for stream to die as my CPU tries to work. Yay! There we go.
They are static. Maybe make them movable.
That would probably... Oh, we can't do it. I do it in the base, I guess. Oh, can you do it in the blueprint of it?
But maybe not multiple selection.
I don't think you can. You have to be. They have to be place actors. With the movement type.
Don't have them. So the floor has it.
Hey, how you doing, Shirtstein? Thanks for the follow, by the way.
So maybe static meshes have it.
But actors don't. What's it?
It's about the meshes.
It's on the transform of this. Okay, well we can add some lights in. And change the radius as well, can't we? Very dramatic. Okay, let's move this over this side, I guess.
White light is very ugly.
Give it a warm tone for you now, brain. How warm do we want to go? Cozy campfire. There's the spotlight. The spotlight is the more directional, right? So yeah, I think point light will just at a point in space it'll emit light equally in a radius around it. What happens if I do what on the material of this? You mean? We can have a quick look at that for you now. Copy that.
It won't emit anything, and it just won't work.
Yeah. Because you're timesing it by 0, basically. Oh, on the point light. Why on the point light? Why do you want me to make a black light? Why are you such a goth? Okay, it's on the point light. Yeah, it doesn't. It just acts like no light. Anyway, okay, where's my spotlight gone? It's weird why we're getting this like ripply effect as well. Is it just because it's
probably because of mipmaps?
Even the widget is glowing. Missive. I will answer your question soon, Shredstein. Sorry, dude. Let me just play with this a little bit. Okay, yeah, there we can see the light.
Can you see the light?
I mean, it. I'll put it like the maximum. We normally have 2. Then we need to change the rotating component on both of these to not rotate. Okay, I've muted you for a while, Brain. Been good?
Good.
Uh-oh. Where's the light now? Okay, yeah. Yeah, how do we turn off the auto exposure thing? It's in the editor settings, I think, is it?
Is it?
Auto or project settings. Hello, Malice.
It's usually in the camera, so
there's an editor thing for it as well, though. It might be the show.
But project settings, and because why would you choose to?
Yeah. I just thought it was more to do with play and editor sort of things. I thought it might be. Bloom off.
No, we should keep bloom, but the auto exposure is
right. Auto exposure. Yeah, it's auto exposure. There we go. It is. We can close that, and then we can have a consistent light. Look how different it is.
Yeah.
Now we need to just bump these up, I guess. Move them closer, or just add multiple. That's a cheaper way to, not cheaper, that's the wrong word, but a quicker way to do it. There you go, more consistent though. And because I just found it was overexposing our stuff. There we go, we got ourselves a nice little scene.
Yeah, overexposing is okay, but it's not stable. You look right and then you look left.
Yeah, it's hard to get that to have consistent atmosphere.
High adaptation. Yeah, we should. Sorry.
And just hold on. Sorry, what were you saying, Brain? I was just mumbling.
Nothing important. But I also want to add a directional light, a subtle one, maybe, and see how it looks.
Oh, like the world lighting, is it? Yeah. Okay. What do you reckon in terms of how bright we should make the elephant? Do you want to make it just a little bit bright, or do you want to make it crazy bright?
We should keep it as 10 as is, and then play with bloom settings later.
Okay. I guess I have to remain wondering. I changed the light to black, didn't I? I tried it for you on both. Anyway, right, let's look at the. So we want to add in a directional light now.
Lower it down. Great. 0.1.
1 does that. Maybe we just need to rebuild light.
No, I mean, we don't need to. We just don't need static objects. Static objects are getting affected by the build.
Yeah, these are static objects though. Oh, but you're saying the mesh isn't. Right, sorry. the floor.
It shouldn't be. Oh. And we don't need to build.
Okay, I don't get it because it still tells me things need to be built.
Yeah, because you have static objects.
33 months of not playing games on time with your home friends # disappointment.
You're watching football. I can see you, Jamie. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to play. We're just finishing this. We made a little scene where.
And then we can wrap up.
Say that again, Brian.
Yeah, I just said just press play and we can then wrap up.
Yeah. It doesn't. I don't know if that has actually done anything. That directional light. Oh no, it has. It has. It's just super like subtle. But is that kind of what you wanted, or?
Yeah. Yeah, Binks.
Yeah, Binks. You can set it to late time of night as well. I can't remember how you do it. The place to do it.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's probably, to be honest, it's better without the sky sphere. Just have it play. There we go.
Okay, goodbye then.
Yes, okie dokie. Thank you, Brian, for helping today, dude. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, good sir.
You too.
And thank you, people, for being here as well. This is kind of what we ended up with. Just the position of the numbers. We had a little bit of issues, but we're going to have to look into that a little more. The direction of that light, I guess the rotation of the directional light is causing that shadow, I guess.
Yeah.
If we did something like that instead, it might look a little less weird. But we got a shadow casted, which is what we kind of wanted here as well. So to show that we could with elements with the UI. But yeah, sweet, cool. Thank you everyone for